Listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right. Here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. Got some funky stuff going on, of course. Hopefully it chills out. So I changed my date that I planned to. Let me go around this traffic here carefully. I'll get back to you in a second. I changed the date that I was planning to. It's just like that. Once they start this stuff, it's just like that. There was that news van again. Action News used to have it. There's that black Hummer H3 again. Because they'll stalk you in a certain vehicle that they know you'll associate with them, and then they'll have their people have it, but eventually they might back off. I don't know. So again, that could be an innocent person, or that could be a criminal crowd that murders people, or even causes other to murder people. You just imagine that going around live, taking somebody's psychology down to the point that they would murder somebody, or that they would rape a child. That's who they are, and who they sound like. Satan, of course. And what do we call those type of people? Devils. So I changed the date I was going to move. It just came together like that. And there's leaks in my apartment. I don't know where it comes from. I'm not going to call on my neighbor or something, you know. But I think, like, sometimes I think that, like, when I first started, I said, well, the toilet overflowed or something. But I'm not sure. So I think I did, and it was me, and I cleaned up myself, and I called maintenance guy. And then, I mean, my toilet's like 34, probably 40 years old or something. So I told, this is like the worst place I could have moved. I mean, believe me, whether it's metaphysical or physical, I know there was physical parts to it. Well, they know that if they stalk somebody long enough, that metaphysical things just start happening to the person. Everything starts falling apart, including your toilet and the places where you live. Like, there's places where I could have lived, and again, it's not me because I'm not racist, but somebody will say, well, maybe you don't want to live over there because, well, just go over there after hours. And some places, yes, because some black people are very uncomfortable with white people, especially a white guy like me who could be a cop or something like that. And again, those aren't all the black people, but the black people that are. And again, I guess, you know, if you're dealing dope, then you're dealing dope, right? Well, black, red, or indifferent. Right. But again, a lot of times, and I brought this up about Native Americans in New Mexico. A lot of times, their only interaction with white people is police officers that might be beating up their uncle or something like that. So again, it develops early on something that they may not be in control of. So again, out of courtesy, sometimes I won't move to certain areas because I think it might cause too much, you know, trouble for people. I'm not a wealthy man, so it's not all that simple not to live in areas of at least a mixed community. But the other place was probably fun, and it really was a good location. It was like right at the parking lot, no assigned parking, which I really loathe if it's, you know, not in the right spot to begin with. And then, and it's not big enough for your vehicle. We got metal poles and a carport. So, but it was, I probably should have moved in the cottages at Hefner and got a real nice 2-bedroom. And I'm sure it was, see, they have new bathrooms and everything. Even if it was like, okay, they did it 5 years ago and it's not brand new, it's better than, you know, 1970s stuff. what they did is they painted the tub. And I clean my stuff, you know. I'm not a person who just steps into the shower and steps out and goes, "Ching, ching, ching, ching." Not like, you know, a 25-year-old girl going to, you know, I take baths, you know, big salt baths, and, you know, I scrub my tub, you know, and all that. So, you know, the paint usually comes off, and that's their problem, not mine. I mean, obviously I didn't scratch because it didn't have one scratch when I went. Of course, it got scratches now because that's where the paint was filling in. Hopefully they know. The other place I lived, they weren't going to act ignorant, and she may have been ignorant. But I was being discriminated against by that woman, that's for sure. Her kids as bait, and you know, I just ignored it and blew it off. But she could guess. I don't know what's wrong with her. You know, she's all stressed out, but I'm the one living the down life, right? She got family, husband, and the guy that was with her was supposedly her husband. Theoretically, he never say anything, but he's also the guy I saw at TJ Maxx, I think, that went into the security room one day. I was over there. He had the audacity to say hi to me. He's a criminal. Kills people for a living. So immediately, as soon as they have been assigned to kill you, whether it's government or otherwise, you're the dreg of society, and they're the stellar people saving the world. Of course, it's false. They're all evil devils. They made money killing people. Parents made money killing people, and one day their children will make money killing people. And I mean killing people, not, you know, self-defense or something real, like, you know, military or something. So so I call and I get an extension. All of a sudden, I go to sleep. I wake up. The place is flooded. So I think if somebody left their faucet on or their toilet was running, I don't know what it is. I'm like, oh my God. What happens is, though, really what happened is they got mad. They knew I extended. The devils that stalked me knew I extended. So they call everybody, casting spells and all of those things. And they cause that. So what happens is I pull out my what do you call it? It's a shop vac, but it's for steam cleaning your car and all that. So it's a really nice one. And I hook it up for suction alone, and I'm sucking all the water up. I'm like, oh my God. It's the worst it's ever been. And of course, they're attacking my head because they just curse me. And I'm just like, that's them. Get out of here. All right, let me see what I'm going to do next. They possess your mind for the reaction that they want. They not only cause something physically, metaphysically, psychologically, they possess your mind into the reaction. So again, you have to understand, I'm not wanting to insult born that way people. Being in a body is a form of possession. You're not supposed to be in a physical body. I understand the Bible says it a certain way, but you have to understand there's a change of space that's not easily foreseeable. I think the Mormons know about it, right? The book of Adam and Eve may be theirs, maybe, I don't know, but I was not a Mormon. The information I got did not come from Mormons, but yet their founder and some of their people are with me. But then again, so are Hindus, so are other Christians. Spurgeon to a certain degree. Again, he's a little embarrassed. He got some things wrong, but it doesn't matter. We all get something wrong. I said that from the beginning, or somewhere around the beginning of me waking up. I said everybody that is a spiritual preacher or something, or teacher, is going to say something outlandish and wrong. It's just God builds it in there so that everybody understands the reality of what's happening here. Of course, Satan's causing it, but it's better to have that. And again, Srila Prabhupada probably said it best. He's the leader of the Hare Krishnas. He said Jesus, can you imagine him preaching at the time and the people that he had to preach to? And so again, he prefaces, not even preface, he just, in the conversation about Jesus and how they accept him and think he's wonderful and all of that, he says that he understands some of the things that Jesus was dealing with where he wouldn't have to deal with that. It was a little bit more law and order around religion. And new religion. Again, that was more the 60s and early 70s. Again, it's much worse now. It's more of a secret society spycraft. Not that they didn't have secret society back then, but they didn't have the enormous level of spycraft and law enforcement corruption. I wouldn't say they didn't have the corruption in some areas, but they had the kind of the way it works now. Right? It's kind of in religion now. So again, it's kind of weird and a little more aggressive than it normally would be. Again, any place that you would go to seek relief from secret society, psychological murder, would be a place that they would own. So again, these things are not imaginary murder or any less murder than physical murder. They're actually worse because they can go a lifetime serial killing people via suicide, forced suicide using psychological methods, and getting people to act out and murder and rape others. So in their lifetime, they could have killed, 40, 50 people easy. And it's like a trigger, and they're just like these ravening wolves, as the Bible says. So I've seen them flip in a second. I work with some, and well, it's a narcissist. A narcissist is always gaslighting. The other person's crazy. Now, I was happy to learn the gaslighting term, but once I sat back years later and said, "Wait a minute, that dumbs down what it is." These are spycraft, psychological torture methods, and it's psychological murder. Although gaslighting is part of it, everybody's gaslighted. I mean, everybody gets gaslighted. No, they don't. Not to that level. And again, that's, God kind of led me in that direction to say that. That's one of their scams. Gaslight everybody and say, "Oh, you went through it." So again, it's very evil, and God is very angry. And I guess God turned the tornadoes back on again, like I said he might be doing. Well, you had choices. You had choices to make the day I said that. You had choices to make 15 years ago when I said something. So again, God didn't just bring the tornadoes. I guess he did almost. It was a couple of days, little tornadoes, and then they get bigger and they get bigger. I mean, that's the cycle and the phases of plagues and things such as that. So the Pope tried to block my post, my tweet. He tweeted something like, I can't put it there. Like, I usually put it at the top tweet. Sometimes I'll go to the next tweet to be respectful of something. I generally don't do that because that's a deep state trick to say, well, why did you put it there? Instead of saying the obvious, because it would be kind of uncouth to do that, So they'll purposely put a tweet where I might not put it, just to be, kind of trying to be a little more socially aligned, but it's not worth it with them because they're always setting up some sort of criminal scam and calling it law enforcement or investigation or intelligence or whatever else they're into that's not real. They're all fakes. Even if they're doing something real, that's the cover for the criminal enterprise. It's the same. The pattern's always the same, and I think some cops have figured this out. Investigators have figured this out. That it's the same thing. A narcissist always trying to cover it with something, but it's in depth. It's like everything is bullshit. And of course, some places they don't have to bullshit, but by the simple fact that they should be in prison for life, it's all bullshit. They shouldn't even be out there. House of Mods. What's that? You name it, we mod it. It's over here by it used to be Express Lube, I guess. Maybe it still is. I don't know. House of Mods. So I went and I bought weather stripping out of like Home Depot, and they didn't have the one I was looking for. I suspect somebody was playing a game, but maybe not. Again, I can't tell you. FBI or something like that would have to do the investigation. However, it was the wrong size, and who'd have thought it? But this is the way it worked. It was an 1/8 inch too big, but it's twice. It's top and bottom of this thing, and side to side. So an 1/8 inch becomes quarter inch. A quarter inch is just too tight. I nailed it perfectly with the weather stripping I wanted. I should have went to Ace. I used to go to Ace all the time, but they did stuff to me when I went to Ace, and you just develop a block and you don't even realize it. They did stuff to me at Home Depot, I guess, and I started going to Ace. And they did stuff to me at Ace, and I started going to Home Depot and Lowe's. It's just the craziest thing. You'll have women stalk you in a store for them, and then you'll walk in the store one day and they'll act like you're stalking them. And it isn't just her having a bad day or being confused. You all set it up. From what I can tell, there's no bad weather yet east of the Rockies. Maybe it's there soon, but I don't know why they figured my package could have made it here. Who knows? It could be, that's another thing. Again, it could be just happenstance. It could be Satan. There's 3 parts of it. 3 possibilities. 1, happenstance. 2, Satan. 3, them physically. Now, when it's Satan, it's also them when it's them physically, it's also Satan. But that's their scam. Like, did we do it or didn't we do it? So they do it enough where you have that question. I think I gotta look up my store here in a few minutes. I'm not sure. I must be around it somewhere. I'm in Bethany. I think it's not on this road. I can't remember which road it was on. But they were real nice. I asked them to look. They actually looked for the weather stripping. If I had ordered it online, they could actually. Now it's harder at Ace because it's smaller. But like at Home Depot, you could order it online and they can go grab it out of the store real quick before the person picks it. They can even have somebody in the store grab it off the shelf. That's how corrupt the world is. How they do it. And no, it isn't just because you put prices that are affiliated with something in my life. That's our scam. And they drug you on top of it. And my food has been tainted over the years, and they know that. So they know that would trigger a certain reaction. Probably most people would trigger a worse reaction like suicide or murdering somebody. Instead of saying, oh, he'll tell you wow, you like. You know I have power. That's the power of God. Yeah, I got a mouth in his pocket named Jesus. All right, let me look and see if this is still hooked up. I just lost my thing here. I got to heal this church. What kind of church is this? There's no sign. I got to be on the other side. Let me make sure I'm transmitting here. Yeah, I am broadcasting. All right, let me go to the stop sign. What's this church? Bethany something, I think. I got a road show or something. I'd had a road show. Believe me, it would have been a fun life, but wanted to torture me all my life. I'll go to hell for it. All right, let's get directions. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I still got to go. I'm almost there. Yeah, it's where I thought it was, but I couldn't remember. I haven't been down this way in a while. I'm not from Oklahoma City. All right, it's Bethany Church of Christ in Eastfield. Hail, name of Jesus. Not my cup of tea, but it is what it is. God explain me why the different denominations exist, because everybody has to. God tries to fit you into a niche that works to counter the curses that they put into your life. But believe it or not. And also sometimes you can't meet that church's requirement. Again, the church also is cursing you. So Westlake Presbyterian Church up and all. Northwest 23rd Street. And my phone's talking to me. All right. I knew where it was. I was driving in the right direction. I just pulled off the road to heal the church, I guess. If I hadn't pulled off the road, wouldn't have seen it. Oh, okay, it's the one I went to before. All right, hang on. Let me go up in here. Boy, that sun's bright today. It hasn't been out in like days, right? Actually, I think it went out. Yeah, we had a big flood at where I lived, and the city people came in and they did a great work trying to fix everything, and they try to clean it up the best they can. I mean, it's like mud and stuff. And can only tell you not to do things so many times before God floods the place. So they get mad and then they flood my place, right? Say it's God. Well, no, not really. So they flood my fence. It's just like steam can cleaning the place. It's spotless. All the owl's gone. Throwing away all the stuff I don't need. So I got even further back in the movie. So it makes sense that I did it that way. And now don't have to pay as much money for that. And then is what is it? So the weather is, I don't know if it's real. The weather's going to drop. I was going to leave early. I'll be moving around, moving stuff. Unloading is going to be like zip, zip, zip. I think I got like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably like 7 or 8 big tubs. Kitchen carts when I set it up. Kitchen carts are all nice ones. So you can pick the top if you want. So I have those, and my ark. I have like 3 plastic, I have like a recliner or something. So, I mean, it's the heaviest thing. My insurance went up because of that speeding ticket. Who knows what God's going to do because of that? So again, if there's no what my present financial. So all the things you do to me to take my life down actually causes God's reactions to increase for each thing you do. So my quality of life not only matters to God, it matters in reference to if you cost $10,000. Again, all of you. Praise God.